This is gonna be the start. I'm gonna start it on my phone because my SD card is not in my camera. I don't feel like getting it, but this is gonna be the start of the vlog. It's gonna be how much I realistically read in a week. I leave for Cali in like a week. I work every day up until the day I leave. And so I want to see how much I realistically read because I pretty much prioritize reading. I basically read and watch movies. So I want to see how much I realistically read throughout the week because some days I work 15 hours, some days I work 8 hours, some days I work 9 hours. It really just depends. Some days I have more time to read than others. So I would love to see how much I actually read. But I'm currently reading Jennette McCurdy's new book, Half His Age, because I somehow joined a book club. I literally forced my way into this book club and we're reading Half His Age and I'm already 96 pages into it. Yesterday, I essentially started it like yesterday, but like really late, probably so like past midnight. And I read basically all of Wednesday, not all of Wednesday, but what I read on Wednesday was 93 pages. So my total count right now is 93 pages. And then I'm reading obviously before I go to bed because I always read before I go to bed. It's 1:41 in the morning. Technically it's Thursday. We're gonna see how many pages I can read throughout the day. I work from like 1 to 9, but I have other things I want to do in the morning, so I doubt I'm gonna be able to read before work, but I always read on the train. I won't be able to read at work, but I can definitely read on the train rides there and back, and then maybe obviously before I go to bed. And yeah, I just want to see how much I realistically read. Okay, as we know, I'm trying to cook more, so before I go to work, I really wanted to make this marinade for this chicken that I want to make. So I'm making Mediterranean chicken breast. I literally got it from Pinterest. And so I have the chicken. I'm not going to cook that till later because I need to let it marinate. So I have extra virgin olive oil, the juice of a lemon, garlic cloves. I have my garlic, fresh oregano. I don't have oregano, but I have dried oregano. I'll use that. I don't have time. That's okay. So I do have this seafood mix though. It's dill, chives, and parsley. So I might do parsley and the chives, and then I have, so I guess I won't do thyme, but smoked paprika. I literally live on smoked paprika. Sea salt. I have salt, and I have ground black pepper. Medium red onion sliced, 1 lemon sliced into rounds, fresh parsley for garnish. Okay, so I gotta get a large mixing bowl, and I have the Ziploc bag. Okay, so the marinade is officially done. The chicken is marinating. I've never made a marinade before, so we'll see how this turns out. But the marinade was actually really easy to make. It's like olive oil, lemon juice. I used dill instead of thyme because I didn't have any thyme. Oregano, salt, pepper, paprika, and then it said to throw in some sliced red onions and lemon rounds. So I'm gonna let that sit in the fridge. I'm back in the mood. I'm always in the mood, I feel like. So this is day 3 of seeing how much I can read in a week. I have about a week before I leave to Cali, and I would like to see how much I actually realistically read. I have this week 3 projection shifts. Counting. I started this challenge though on Wednesday, and I think I did projection Wednesday. I honestly don't remember. But that first day my count was at 93, and then last night, based on the pictures that I have, I read 100 pages yesterday. So I'm at about 193 for the total. I'm currently on page 231 right now, so I've only read about 30 37 pages or so on the train. I didn't read it all today because I edited basically all day, but I am pretty much done with that. So I'm going to read and see how much I can finish in like an hour. I'm off in an hour, so I'm gonna see like how much I can read. I really would like to finish the book. That would be the goal. I think I have a little bit more than an hour to finish, but if I read and then read for an hour and then take the train, I think I can probably finish, because it's 11:52 right now, so by midnight we gotta start a new day. But I'm currently reading Jennette McCurdy's Half His Age, and this book it's kind of wild, honestly. Like, I'm like, girl, you're delusional, you're wild, but also like the guy in it, like, sure, what are you doing? What the frick are you doing? This is an underage girl for part of the time. It's just very, very concerning all around. But there are parts of the book where it's interesting because the girl, like, she's 17 going on 18, and she does turn 18 in the middle of the book. I can relate to some of the ways that she's feeling, and I think a lot of women can, but also some of the things that she does and why she, like, is with this person and how she feels about them. And, like, she's, like, basically in a situationship. And I'm like, I was in a situationship, like, 3 years ago or, like, 2 years ago. So it's like, can I fault you? No. But, like, I was dumb to stay in that. And, like, she's also dumb to stay in that. You know, like, we have a lot to learn. I have a lot to unlearn when it comes to men, I feel like. And we have a lot to learn about our worth. And I think that this whole book is about worth and knowing your worth. And she's 17, so she don't know who the fuck she is. Eventually she will, but I think she's looking clearly for love in all the wrong places. But do we judge her? No, because she's 17. So the things she's doing, they make sense. But I don't know, it's kind of a wild book. But I'm gonna see how much I can finish right now. I officially finished Jennette McCurdy's book, Half His Age, and that was a book for sure. I need to see how many pages that was. So there were 273 pages. So I officially finished that this morning. And then I also read some of Fevered Star. I am not very far in this book. I was reading it on my Kindle, but I just looked in the book and I was on page 64 to start. And then I read up to 80, 86, I think, 83. So 64 to 83. I read 19 pages only today of Fevered Star. I actually didn't read very much today at all. I think the most I read was the Jennette McCurdy book, because I had a full day at work. We had 5 events, so work was super busy. Okay, so I did some more math. My total is 292 pages, and it's Sunday, which means, where have I been reading? I don't know. I did finish a book, but I decided that I am going to be better at DNFing books this year. And if I'm not vibing with it and I'm like almost 100 pages in, like, I'm not going to keep trying to read it. So I've decided to move on from the second book in the Black Sun trilogy, and I decided to move on from like 2 other books that I started, and I ended up bringing Black Cake to work. I haven't read any of it, but because of the snowstorm, we have to shut down. Not have to shut down, but we are ending a little bit earlier than normal. I am gonna read for the last show. I just have one more movie to project, and then I will read a little bit for that. I'm working on my coloring. The whole day I crafted. I literally just, while like in between movies and like helping, it was really slow today, but in between movies and helping around the theater, I did some crafting, and I'm working on my vision board for 2026. I bought a journal, and then the half of the pages are like this brown, like checkered. So I'm using that as like a vision board. So I realized I printed out so many little things that I wanted to put on there that I've now created 3 pages. 3 pages of vision board. I got a lot of visions for myself. I got a lot of things I want to accomplish, goals I want to do. I'm gonna read Black Cake. We're gonna see how that goes. I've heard good things about this book, and I know it's a show on Hulu. So if I really like it, I'm gonna have to watch the show, and I'll see how far I get. I'm also working on my coloring. I've been coloring again on my phone, so I'm doing that picture. It's so beautiful. It's so bright and colorful. And so I'm working on that right now. I'm kind of tired, so I just started coloring, and I'm like, oh, this is nice and relaxing. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Yesterday, I read 100 pages from Black Cake. Oops. I'm loving this book. Like, it's making me want to just go and read Good Dirt right after. That's her second book. It's not, I don't think it has anything to do with this book, but it's another book about family, just family drama, and it's so good. I'm reading on my Kindle, but at the end of the day, I will figure out where I am in like the physical book. So this is how far I am in the physical book. I'm on page 174. Yesterday I started at 73, page 73, and that was when I was on my walking pad, and then I read to like 120. And then I only read like 50 pages at work. I didn't read as much at work as I wanted to, but that's okay. But I would love to finish this book today. I don't think that's gonna happen, but maybe, who knows? I'm gonna walk on my walking pad right now, probably for 30 minutes, just because I need to pack. Yeah, for 30 minutes, and then I'll see how much I get done in 30 minutes. Yesterday I read 47-ish pages in the hour, which is not that much. I'm not like a super fast reader. I don't think I am by any means. At least it's making a little bit of a dent. So I'm gonna do that again. I would love to walk for an hour, but I need to figure out if that leaves me enough time to pack and then like eat breakfast and then like go to the library before I leave, because I have to go and return my library books before I leave town. But I'm really enjoying this book because her writing is really good. And like, when I started reading it, I was like, did this book win any kind of awards? Even the Goodreads Choice Awards, like anything, because it deserves it. Like, I don't know if this was like their debut. I think so when it came out, but I don't know if it was, but if it was like best debut, like, I don't know. It's so good. And the story is it's insane. I thought that I would have trouble because it definitely goes back and forth between different timelines. The way that it's unfolding, it's so good. So good. And the things that you're finding out about Benny and Byron and their mother and just like their family lineage. And I feel like it's so interesting because there's a lot of repetition in the book for specific things about the way that things are written. A lot of repetition, and I'm like, oh wow, it's like calling back to previous chapters and previous ways that the authors described certain characters. And even the way that like this Black Cake has been passed down through their family and like where it originated from. And now I understand the cover. I was like, I don't have the physical cover with me, but now I understand the cover. Like, this is water. So there's a lot of water, sea, ocean, swimming involved. And it's so interesting how it like has passed down through the lineage of their family in ways that they don't even realize. And that's what I think is so interesting, because the son, Byron, he's like an oceanographer. Like he studies the ocean, he studies the planet, and just the way that we need to treat the ocean and like what's happening to the ocean. And there's some callbacks and some people that also were involved in the ocean. And like, it's just interesting the way that everything is connected, even in very subtle ways. And I think that that is so cool. And her next book, Good Dirt, I think that one says that it follows like how crime and violence like reverberate through families. And yeah, I'm gonna read Good Dirt after this. Like, it's just, this book is really good. I can't believe it took me so long to read it. Like, I love it. It's probably gonna be a 5-star. If not a 5, a 4.5, 0.75. I don't know. Probably just gonna give it a 4. I'm not even gonna do, if I'm between a 4 or a 5, I'm just gonna start giving things 5s. Because if I'm that close to a 4.75, you probably deserve a 5. Unless there's a very specific reason I can remember or I can come up with to say that it shouldn't be a 5. But I don't have any reasons right now for this. This is really good. And I'm gonna see how much I can read this morning on my little walking pad. Okay, I'm officially done with my 30-minute walk. I did 35 minutes, but I'm already at 7,000 steps a day. My goal is 10,000 steps every day, no matter what. But I got to page 224 on my Kindle. Let me see what that is. I made it to part 3 in the book. So the revelations that are coming out, that are continuing to come out, bruh, oh my God. This gal lived a life. It's just, I'm already like tearing up thinking about it. Just everything she's gone through. Just the connections in this book too are kind of wild when you find out who people are. And I was like screaming. I was like, yes! But then I was also upset because something really bad happened to her. And yeah, this book is tough. Okay, so in my book I read to page 204. I was on, where was I before? I think I was on the bunny chapter. Yeah, I read from 174 to 204. Yep, 30 pages. Okay, 30 pages in half an hour. That means if I kept up on that trajectory, I would have read 60 pages in an hour. Not pretty good. So I'm on page 204. I'm on another Byron chapter, which Byron needs to cut his sister some slack. But the crazy thing, like while reading this book, is like basically the whole premise is that these two kids, like their mother passes away and she leaves them a tape and they have to listen to the tape, and she's basically telling them about her life, and we are also finding out about her life just through like the story. So that's why it jumps timelines. So we're finding out about her life and they're finding out about her life at the same time. I can't imagine finding all this out about your mother and your father and your family over a tape and after the person is gone. So you literally can't even talk to them about it. You can't forgive them, you can't cry with them, you can't hug them, you can't nothing. And I'm sure they have so many questions. And I'm sure they are rethinking their entire lives and how their mother was and who she was. And I feel like they're discovering who their mother was through this whole process. And I can't imagine like how hard that is. Because again, I'm sure have so many questions. I'm sure they're just thinking like, well, why this? Why that? Why couldn't this? Why couldn't that? And I don't wish that upon anyone. That's really sad. Oh, man. But I, again, love to finish this book today. How many pages are there? Author's note. 382 pages in the physical copy. I'm just reading my Kindle on my Kindle because it's just been easier to carry around. I'm 54% in. And I don't know if anybody else feels like this, but every time I read on my Kindle, once I get to like 50%, I feel like the book flies. And then once I get to like 90%, it kind of slows down again. So I feel like it takes a while to get to like the 25% mark, and then like the 50% mark. It takes a bit depending on how long the book is. And then, but always once I get to 50%, I feel like I'm just at 60, 70, 80, like quick. And then by the time I get to 90, 92%, I feel like the ending starts to like slow down. I don't know if that's my reading speed, I don't know, but I just feel like those like 50% to like 90% of pages goes by in a flash normally, and then the 90 kind of slows down. But I don't know if anybody else feels like that. That's always how I felt. I've always felt once I get to 50, quick. But I'm gonna go make breakfast and pack before I have to leave for work.